Hello twin flames and welcome to this video. So I'm really excited because my new deck, Twin Flames Ascension Oracle, it's here, and I'm not going to be using this properly until the new year, but I really wanted to jump on today and to do kind of a deck walkthrough, but more of a reading with it. So what they're guiding me to do is talk a little bit about the deck and explain why I created it and why I created it the way I did. And then we're going to do a little reading about what symptoms you or your twin may be experiencing right now and why. So this is a deck that I created because we all go through ascension, we go through symptoms, we go through physical stuff, we go through things in the mind, we go through a lot on this journey. We need support, and we are supported constantly by heaven. We're given the strength we need to carry on. But the physical symptoms, especially the ascension symptoms, also make us more aware of our physical self. The way we experience our twins' energy, our energy, and the energy of others. Because we are light workers, we work the light, which means we are empaths and healers. So the more we tune in with what we go through physically and understand it on a much deeper level than just a surface level of taking a pill or a remedy to sort it out. If we can go a bit deeper into it, then we understand it more and we heal it quicker, and then we don't go through these things. As a channeler, I experience physical things very powerfully when I'm connecting with a person or when I'm connecting with the collective energy, because it's easy to understand when we experience it ourselves. And that's why, as a twin flame, we go through things. Sometimes we don't understand why we're going through them, but we go through them so we can understand it. So when we're talking to somebody we're helping or healing, we can see it from a first-hand point of view. Instead of trying to understand what they're going through or trying to experience the experience, we go through it. So everything you've been through so far in this lifetime, everything you are going through now, and everything you will go through, it's part of a much bigger plan. Sometimes we feel like on this journey we're being punished or, why are these things happening? But it's always happening for our higher good, because we grow through the things that we go through. And sometimes those are emotional things that affect our feelings, our life. Sometimes they are physical things that we go through in the body that can slow us down or make us change things we are doing. But it all comes from within. Okay, we've signed up for everything we go through. Yes, it's painful sometimes, but it builds that warrior spirit. And it gives us the power to go within. Because all we'll ever need is our connection with ourselves and our connection with Source. And that's where the power is. All the things that manifest and come up in the physical body first begin in the mind. Because when we feel there's a dis-ease in our life, we're not feeling at peace, we feel anxious, we've got anxiety, we're panicked, we're stressed out. Those things manifest in the body as dis-ease, disease, because it's when we're not feeling at ease with things. Have you noticed how easier things are when you feel at one with everything? When you feel at peace, you feel calm, you feel excited about life. And then if something comes and throws you off your path, then we start questioning everything, we go into doubt. But a good way of looking at it is this, and this is what Abraham says, Abraham Hicks. Abraham says, if you didn't fall off your path every now and again, if you didn't move out of vibrational alignment every now and again, how would you even know that you are in vibrational alignment? And it's the truth, if everything was at a constant, we wouldn't grow. We'd have no reason to come here. So when we go through things physically or emotionally or, we get triggered or tested, it reminds us not only that we are alive, but that we are a soul that's come here to grow and learn and evolve and be part of a bigger plan. So that's really where I was guided to create this deck, because it will help you to understand why you're experiencing or your twin's experiencing or another person is experiencing the things they're going through. So even if you pull the card, you ask a question for you and you pull the card, and maybe you're not going through the physical symptom yourself, It could very well be what your twin is going through, or what someone you're about to encounter is going through. So your knowledge of these things will help you to heal others as well as yourself. So that's why I created this deck. So this is an oracle deck. It's designed to be used that way to understand why we're going through things. It's not to bring in fear or fear-based energy. It's to help us to heal. And as always, if you think you're going through something, if you feel worried about your physical health or the physical health of others, get a professional opinion. That's what you are here to do, to trust in your inner guidance system. You know your own body better than anyone. So you know if you need to see someone or if you don't, or if you need to call on the angels or you don't. You know. A lot of time on this journey, we get that professional opinion for reassurance that we're okay, and they tell us what we already know. There's nothing wrong. It's Ascension. Obviously, they wouldn't know it's Ascension. But if they say, oh no, everything's fine, but you're not really fine, it's Ascension. So we learn to really connect with our own self, and to tap in with that power. So the first card in the deck, first of all, it's a Twin Flames Ascension Oracle. And you can see this lady is also what seems to be, in my eyes, a graveyard. And that's because we release things. Graveyards are about release, letting go, healing, dealing with things, dealing with grief, pain, suffering, struggle, to be reborn, to reconnect with source. And whenever we go through a loss of any kind, it's an opportunity to go within. Whether we lose what we perceive to be losing our twin flame, you can never lose them. They're in here, they're a part of you. But if we go into separation or we're in struggle or we feel it's over, we have to go within. We have to reconnect with ourselves to understand what's going on and to be able to heal it and feel at peace. If we lose a loved one, we grieve that. And, we may visit a sacred place like a graveyard. But really, we go within when we lose someone to realise that they never went away. They live within us and they live through us. They would not want us to be in pain or sadness because we live on. And their memory and they live on through us. So it's very powerful why we go through all of these things. We go through things physically sometimes to change our life, to change our lifestyle, to do things differently, because we're being guided to slow down or redirect our energy or look again at our life. So everything happens for a reason and we are always safe. And that's why I wanted to create this deck, to give you a peace of mind if you're going through things, but also to remind you to call on heaven and that you are not alone. So a message for you. So there's 55 cards in this, well, it's 56, but there's 55 cards in this deck. 55 symptoms, things we go through within the body and why and how we can heal them. But I wanted to do a little message for you first. And the reason I chose green is because green is the colour of Archangel Raphael, the healer of heaven, the divine physician of heaven. And if ever you're struggling or in fear over your physical health or anything that may be affecting your health and your mind, your emotions, Raphael can help to heal. When you call on Archangel Raphael and Jesus, and they work together as a team, they create miracle healing in your life. But you must, first of all, be ready to call on them and allow them in. And that's a choice we always have. So the message for you is that Ascension is a natural part of the twin flame journey. And as a light worker, empath and healer, we learn through Ascension to understand and appreciate our body and the miracles it performs every day. It can be scary and hard when we experience physical symptoms, but remember that you are loved and safe, and this too shall pass. Call on the loving healing support of Archangel Michael and Raphael and the miracle healing of Jesus during periods of ascension. And most importantly, listen to your body, because you know your body better than anyone. So always follow your truth and your own intuition. And that's using your own discernment, tapping in with yourself. If you feel that you need to see a doctor or a medical practitioner, always trust that and get the medical support and advice and help that you need. You are not alone. Lots of love, Liz. So always listen to your own body. And it was hard for me a long time ago when I first started doing this kind of work, because way before YouTube, because I was channeling energies and I was channeling physical symptoms, and it was hard because it was hard at that time, just kind of starting out on my own journey of awakening to, discern and understand if it was my energy or it was the energy of other people. But we learn through the experience of it and the having of the symptoms. So trust that you are safe. So first of all, what they guided me to do is explain a bit about how I've made these cards so you can use them easier. So each card has a physical symptom or something we go through or something connected with the body or a part of the body. For example, the throat. And then the reason why we go through it. Whether you're seeing it from a period or a situation of ascension, or you're seeing it as a physical thing you were going through yourself. So, for example, the throat is issues around communication. We know this because when the throat chakra blocks up, it's usually because we're feeling that we aren't communicating, whether that's with our twin flame or with our higher self or with our angels or with people around us. Or there could be some blocks in communication, delays, delayed messages, or we're just not feeling heard. So the throat chakra blocks up when we have a need to express the self and clear the air. So the way we can heal throat chakra issues is through breath work, maybe even having a scream, releasing that. So some of the cards will explain how to heal, and some of the cards explain what you need to know. And because of how you feel and heal. And even when I'm picking up on this right now, I'm channeling a feeling of a block. Sometimes we get a block in the throat, which can also come from cold-like symptoms, the nose, the sinuses. So it may not just be one thing. You may be experiencing the throat through something else, through a cold or a flu-like symptom. And that's why we can use this deck as a guide, because not just one card may come out. You may get 5 cards coming out because they're all associated with the same thing or what can bring in a healing. So this is why I've created the deck this way. So we've got the physical symptom or the area of the body or the chakra or wherever it is, and then why we experience it. So rather than me doing a deck walkthrough where I explain every single card, first of all, I'm going to show you each part of the body, and then I'm going to do a reading, okay? So voice voice can be connected with throat. See how they're channeling it through me? I kind of knew this would happen when I was doing this deck. I did it when I was actually channeling the deck as well, asking angels, what do you want me to channel? And then all of a sudden I'd sneeze or I'd experience something. So the throat and the voice can go hand in hand. Heartburn. So many of us experience that along the way. Heartburn. Neck. Pains in the neck, stiff neck. Ankles and the Achilles heel. And why? And on these cards, the angels guided me to use white writing because white is very cleansing and healing. And it's about purification. And sometimes, because the card may be a bit lighter, you may have to look a bit closer to read the message. And the reason why the angels wanted it that way is because we have to look a lot closer sometimes at ourselves when we're going through physical things or when we're going through emotions or triggers. We have to slow down. So instead of looking for the quick fix or looking for, the quick explanation, we have to go a bit deeper. And we have to take a moment to process. And that's why sometimes we have to read the cards a little bit closer. And the angels were very clear with me when I was creating the deck that this is how it needed to be. Migraine, if you're going through a headache. Insomnia. So insomnia itself may not be a physical, throat or a physical part of the body, but it's definitely a symptom. Vertigo. Hands and arms. Sneezing, vomiting, legs, gas, bladder, fatigue. So I want to show you all the cards first and then I'm going to do a reading, okay? There is an explanation of all of these numb. If you feel numb inside or you feel numb because you're having pins and needle feelings. the nose, ears, bloating, if you feel bloated, excess weight, cold sores, aches, pains, cold, flu, upper back, the brain, itching. I know you've all experienced some or at least a few of these as I'm going along. Diarrhea, constipation, stomach cramps, hair growth, hair loss, pressure, fever, lungs, fingers, heart, cold and flu, the middle back, the lower back, the back, cuts and abrasions, joints and muscles, heat, belching, the third eye, veins, knees, hips, burning mouth, fainting, shoulders, stomach, teeth and gums, that's a big one we go through, eyes and toes. So it just gives you an idea of what's covered in this deck. But they're not guiding me to go through every single card today, okay, because it'll just sound like an encyclopedia of health issues, and we don't want to focus on that. We want to focus on the positive and what we're going through now. So let's do a little mini reading. So thank you, angels. What symptoms of ascension or in the physical body may we have been experiencing lately, and why? What may we have been experiencing lately and why? Actually, while I'm doing this, they're giving me teeth pain, which is connected with decisions and healing. What do we need to know, please, angels? I feel that's the big one. Okay, let's see what we've got then. So the main card right now is voice. And voice is connected with communication. So again, can be connected with the throat. But sometimes we can lose our voice because we're not feeling heard, or we're not feeling understood by our twin, or we feel like we can't communicate properly. And that's when things feel dark. You know, things go dark and light. And it feels like, you know, the lighting of the camera is going light and dark. And the message says, voice problems caused by feeling misunderstood, unheard, or being unable to speak the truth. Write down thoughts and feelings until communication is restored. So if you feel that you can't express yourself right now to your twin, maybe start a journal. Write down your thoughts and feelings. Okay, you may be guided to connect with them and write them a message, but sometimes that can also do more damage because we need to just wait for the air to clear, or we need to wait for them to contact us. So writing down your thoughts and feelings helps you to get it out, so you're not repressing anything. We've also got burning mouth, and, you know, again, connected with the voice, burning mouth can be connected with this, because burning mouth can be connected with anger or frustration. They're giving me fear. Okay, I channel burpee energy. It comes up from the solar plexus. You know, burning energy. It says arguments, conflict with others, and angry words. Take a moment to cool down and breathe before interacting with others. So this is reminding you, if you feel that you want to express something, sometimes we can react to a situation or we can get triggered, and we're guided to breathe and take a moment to come back into the now and observe our thoughts before we lash out or reach out or say things we may regret. And if you're connecting with this right now, it's the time of the year when I'm recording this in real time. It's connected with the holidays, so they can bring in arguments, conflict with others, struggle, angry words, thinking something's wrong. And, it says take a moment to cool down. Whenever there's anything that's burning, we need to cool it down. If we burn ourselves, for example, on the cooker, or if you burn your finger, you cool it down. You run it under cold water, or you may put ice on it to cool it down. And it's the same with anything we're going through. When we feel agitated or frustrated, cool down. So the burning mouth energy here is about cooling down. Cooling down with the words and opinions, maybe even judgment. Take a moment to breathe. And we've got cuts and abrasions. So sometimes we may cut our fingers or cut our body by accident, you walk into something and there's a cut there and there's a reason. It's usually connected with guilt. If we feel guilty over something we've done, or maybe you're picking up on your twins' guilt. If they feel guilty because they're still in a karmic situation or they're going through something. It says the need to be punished for actions in the past. Forgive the self and heal. So when we forgive, we don't attract those cuts and abrasions in. Okay, so obviously there's a reason. So you may think, well, I walked into a wall and I cut my face, or I banged my leg, or I scraped myself, or I cut my toe. Yes, that happened, but there'll be a reason behind it, an underlying reason that's being dealt with. So the cut itself will be a release of some kind, that you may not be dealing with emotionally. And the cut makes you aware. So when the body goes through these things, it's making you aware that something's not at ease in your life. And then we address it. So instead of thinking, I'll just take paracetamol, even though you may need to, but you think, I'll deal with the reason why I've got a headache, or why I feel tense, or why these things are happening. And then those things clear up naturally. So you're being reminded to listen to your body, because you are a healer and a feeler. And because I picked up on teeth and decisions, it hasn't come out, but I feel it needs to be heard, because I picked up on that when I was channeling it. So, if you channel something when you're doing a reading for someone, or when you're connecting with someone, always trust what you're feeling. Always trust it, because there'll be a reason for it. So let me find the card to show you. Teeth, and I've gone past it. Teeth and gums. If I can't find it, I'm not meant to bring it out. Okay, that's the way I always look at it. But because I channeled it, I want to bring it in. If it's here, if I can find it. If I can't, I'm not meant to find it. See, these are the way things happen on this journey. Okay, so, I'm not meant to show you the card for whatever reason. But, if you're dealing with teeth and gums, and maybe that's why you've got a burning mouth. Maybe your mouth is burning and it's connected with teeth or gums, or cuts or abrasions in the mouth, which could also be mouth ulcers, mouth sores. It's connected with decisions, back and forth energy, feeling wishy-washy about things you're doing, needing to make a clear decision. And maybe that's what your twin is going through right now. But this gives you an idea of why we go through the things we go through. I hope this helps. Sending you so much love. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.